Hey, thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate you taking your time to pop into the channel. Today, we will be discussing none other than the YouTube news of all about the tea and the implosion that seems to have happened with the panel over there. Let me just give you a little backstory. I started this YouTube channel in December of 2020, and it was a direct result of my interaction as a call-in guest to All About the Tea. Yes, I felt after that interaction, it was super negative, and it shouldn't have been called All About the Tea. It should have been called All About the Toxicity. Because I just felt like they were really negative and very aggressive towards callers and not nice at all. And after that interaction, I typed this huge long comment, and the comment never posted on the thing, by the way. I guess she deleted it, as it's been found out that she does. She deleted this long, like winded comment. It was like 5 paragraphs of how I felt after the interactions with her channel. And I was complaining. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Instead of complain about it, be about it. And I started my own YouTube channel. So again, thank you for tuning in to Larger Curves today. And I feel like I had to finally cover this story because it's kind of a full circle moment for just me and my own trusting my own self, right? So I thought the interaction that I got over there was negative and it left me feeling a kind of way. But then I second guessed myself. I was like, well, were you just being sensitive? Nope, I wasn't being sensitive, because everybody you see pictured in this picture has stepped away from being with All About the Tea, except for the avatar. Okay, and the avatar has to stay because it's her platform, but that didn't mean Ples had to stay, who's centered, top center. She left first and said it was because, she just needed to move on. She felt it was time. And also because the world is opening up, she needed to have time to do the rest of her stuff. She's a whole freaking attorney. She can't sit on your live for 4 hours a night and not get paid or compensated and treated any kind of way. So she left. And then Bishop left. He's the dude down there, and he's a preacher or a preacher's kid or something. Monica, the avatar, used to always have him praying and stuff before time. But of course, she's going to be talking ish about him now too, because he left, and for whatever reason he left. And then they said that Schoolboy left, the lady in the glasses up there, or the schoolboy in the glasses up there, Schoolboy. And then Marcella supposedly left, the lady who's pictured on the bottom corner, and leaving the avatar all by herself to gripe and complain and, show that the grass was not green on either side, basically, because everybody has a list of complaints all of a sudden. Monica was supposedly doing her part to help these low call-in people who had nothing when they met her, who she allowed to go on her platform and help grow her bank account, her subscribers, and her popularity for free, basically. And now take all the credit for raising them up from nothing, from the lint of her pocket. Oh, the greatness of the avatar is great. And they should be thankful. They should be grateful that she let them call in all the time and take hours out of their life and day to participate in the going-ons over there at the TES. Oh, they should be so grateful. Why? Why are they saying all these things about me? Why? Why are they trying to cast stones at this beautiful house that I've built and let them into? At least that's what I'm hearing. I was paraphrasing from what we're about to listen to in her interview that she did to tell her side of the story. And her side of the story, the avatar Monica decided to tell her side of the story to none other than Pastor Tanya Griffin. The reason I have the picture of Jamal Bryant and Giselle Bryant up here with this lady you might not know on the left is because that's Pastor Tanya Griffin, the woman who was in the binder of Monique Samuels at the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion last year when the ladies were in yellow. Yes, that one, when Monique whipped out her binder to try and have it deflect from her whooping Candace's butt. The binder wasn't an apology. That was just more stuff. But the woman in the binder who had received the text from the confirmed phone number that Giselle had to confirm on the national TV was none other than Pastor Tanya Griffin. Another full circle moment, because that was the call that I called in about in the first place to All About the Tea. I know, right? It's like I just knocked you out with that much serendipity, full circle stuff, right? All right. Enough with the full circles. Back to the story. What I want to listen to in this audio this is the end of the audio of her interview with Pastor Tanya. And then she has this other caller call in, and they really get a little vicious about what they really think of the people that she's just spent the last 5 months of her life with. And there's more to this. And then at the very end of it, I want you to pay attention to what happened. Like the whole freaking feed just like left all of a sudden at the very end. And I was like, what's going on? All of a sudden it just kicked us off, and it was like, this is all private. And then it didn't get posted for hecka long. And now it's posted with hella commercials. So, she's still making money off of the panel, obviously. Kudos. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm trying to get there. Anyway, listen to this audio. Listen. How do you feel do you feel like it's vicious? Is this over shady? Anyway, let's listen to it. I might come in and out and talk, but most people like to just hear the audio.
I am considering whether or not, I'm going to do a lot of things on my own as well moving forward. So you're going to see a lot more of Monica, who you tuned in for initially. I will be going live nightly, like usual, considering maybe assembling a new panel. Well, let me address this too with Schoolboy. Schoolboy did not leave the panel. Marcella did not, despite what Bishop said, because I spoke to Marcella, we talk a lot. Marcella is like family to me. She said, I never told that boy I was leaving. I said to him, I didn't want to be a mod on his channel anymore because of, I didn't want him to be attacked. I don't know how that went from Marcella's not a panelist. Because that's not
true. Marcella, we love her. We love Schoolboy too.
Yes, absolutely. And we love Pleasant Bishop too.
We love Pleasant. Yes.
Even though y'all hate me, I love you. Yeah. I love you.
Yes.
I love you. And yes, you hate me because if you're trying to monetize my pain after I gave you a platform to become who you are on YouTube, to get you subs and grow your YouTube careers, that's hate. That's not love. And it's evil. Mm-hmm. But listen, God sits up high. He does. And I'm not going to sit up here and play a victim. If I hurt anybody in any way, if I hurt you because I didn't return your phone call, I am so sorry. So deeply sorry.
Yeah.
But do I deserve to be dead and shot in the head? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
No, that's not how it goes down in corporate America. If you're ready to go, there's the exit door. You don't have to take it to, in the social media world. Bishop has nasty things about Monica. Yeah, we understand that happens, but we bless Monica and we bless her platform. And she's just going to increase even more, even after everything that was said and everything that was done. She's going to be fruitful and she will multiply. And so, Monica, you have the final words. You're the CEO and the founder of All About the Tea. Wendy Williams dropped your name, so you got to give us some closing words on tonight.
Okay, I just wanted to address this really fast. Okay. They also help you grow your channel. You got over 90K subs. Nope. When I started the nightly panel, I had over 60K subs, and they helped me get to 100K, and I thank them. But we did it collectively. We did it collectively. They wouldn't know on their own that they all needed to be together as a panel. I come from a corporate background. I can scout talent. Okay. So I knew the mixture of people would work. Here you have a man that claims to be he's of the cloth, but he's dragging women every night. That's an oxymoron and very interesting. Okay, so you'll be a good fit. Here you have an attorney, but she's a reality TV aficionado. That's interesting. Okay, that'll work. Here you have Marcella is the auntie from New York that keeps it real, keeps it ratchet, keeps it raw. That'll work. Then you have, a lesbian woman that is kind of gender ambiguous because she's a female, but she's calling herself schoolboy. So, and she's bringing in, a perspective from the LGBTQ community. This was going to be perfect. I built a panel before. I can build a panel again. Will I be starting fresh? Stay tuned for what's to come. I love you, Teacups. We are family. I love you all. Well, we also have a guest joining us tonight because I invited special guests to join us. I love this man. He is super intelligent, super funny. He has my back. And he brings a different and a unique perspective to YouTube. I want to add Wiley to the Wiley Show to the panel.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm blessed. I am really blessed.
Boy, you got a good show. I mean,
yes, I love the Wiley
I could have stopped
Show.
laughing. But you brought the real. I mean, yes. You sorted through all of that chaos.
Exactly. Because it's a bunch of BS. Because it's a lot of YouTubers like myself did not have an opportunity to be in front of thousands of people. Monica gave ungrateful subscribers a platform. And those ungrateful subscribers want to cry and paint a narrative like they were robbed. No, you clicked on the link from your home miles and miles away and you got on the show. It was an agreement for money. You got paid to do this. So they're not a victim. They just want to take over Monica's platform. And that's not going to happen because she's been in this business for 8 years. And if you are a man of the cloth, you shouldn't be gossiping about a reality show. You should be somewhere praying. You should be somewhere with your holy oil. You should be somewhere of the cloth and really helping people to get to find Jesus, not talking about Nene Leaks, not talking about Portia, not talking about basketball wives. So if you say I'm a man of the cloth, I never seen that man pray. I just seen him talk about women, degrade women. So again, Monica, the only thing you did was wrong was give ungrateful subscribers a platform. And once they got a piece of the pie, they left you and they're trying to tear down your business that you worked hard to build.
That's right. And it's not going to happen. But Wally, you got to tell us that part that you talked about being a lawyer and the meltdown. That's what got me. Go.
I've never seen a lawyer cry. And I feel for her because I'm like, if you're really an attorney, that's a very, very hard profession to get into. If you can't handle YouTube, you need to sit down because you cannot be my attorney crying. She cried too much. And if you went through law school like you claim, if you passed the bar like you claim, you should have some thick skin. How in the world would you join a panel and then say, well, let's get a contract? And if you are an attorney. So again, if you live by that, from day one, I need a contract because I went to law school. I know all the laws. So this should not be, well, they made me cry. I was so upset. They were dragging me. They were deleting comments. You sound as though like you're 6 years old. You are a grown woman. Grow up and you don't get no sympathy from me or from Monica or from anybody else because you are a black woman that's an attorney. You are intelligent. You should not allow somebody on the internet to get under your skin and to make you break down in tears. I'm not falling for that. She just wants sympathy to grow her platform and she wants to do other things. That's it.
Right. Use the tears to be weaponized. Right. And so you said that and that was wonderful. I said, yeah, that's right. I don't know any attorney. If I give my attorney something at the last minute, he better be able to do what he need to do if he get it 3 seconds before the judge is coming into the courtroom. And if he can't, I need another attorney, right? Because to me, this just doesn't make any sense. And it is bizarre. And it is exactly what you said. It was methodic and it was targeted to take down all that this woman has built for 8 years. But there's a scripture that say no weapon. It's form. Mm-hmm. It may form.
Thank you, Wally.
But tell somebody he ain't going nowhere.
I have a question because you raise a valid point about conflating issues. In Pleasant's second video, that the live, She talked about personal things in her life, like the stores and stuff that happened in the church and all this other stuff. In the same video with me, where her grievances all about the tea, and then was crying. So it's almost like she's weaponizing those things against me and blaming me for it. Because why would you even mention all those personal things in the same video about grievances all about the tea and then start crying? Almost to attach the two things together and really, in my opinion, how I viewed it, and this is just my opinion, to manipulate the audience. Why do that?
Yeah.
Because now people are left with, oh, she was crying and it's an emotional buy-in. But the issues you're crying about has nothing to do with your grievances. So now everybody hates me. I'm this monster. I'm this narcissist because I didn't return a phone call. I deserve to be dead.
No, and then it's interesting. If you really pull the layers off of these videos, and then she goes and she says, what God has for me is for me. I'm like, so how does this really fit into what your claims are? It doesn't, right? I'm not a lawyer, but I know that much. I'm a Bible scholar, not a lawyer. So I know that doesn't fit there. And so, yes, using all these different ways to get people to buy into the emotional, type of things that she was doing in front of the camera. If people would have just went back and listened little by little to every video and wrote everything down, because that's what I did, you would be able to see how one of these things are not like the other.
Absolutely. And if you're not over your childhood hurt, get a therapist. But you cannot put this on Monica. Monica was not there at Players Church when she gave a speech and they dragged her mother because she was putting it. Monica did not tell players to go to law school and get A's, and people were like talking about her saying, oh, how did you get this A in this class? Monica had nothing to do with that childhood, middle in your 20s trauma. She had to get over the trauma before you try to become a YouTuber. Because if you cannot handle the trauma in your childhood, don't say it. Don't speak about it, because you're going to get dragged. And one thing that she said that was a lie, oh, they said because of my mental illness. No, she said she left because the focus on her mental health. But when you go to Player's channel, she spin this false narrative as though Monica was talking about her having a mental illness. That wasn't the case. And this is why it's so important to watch the full video. Even though the video may be long, but you may get all the answers if you watch the entire video. You cannot judge a video off the title and off the thumbnail. You have to sit down, take notes, and watch it from beginning, middle, end, and you will get the full story. And once I've gotten it, I said, Players is not a victim. She is an opportunist, and she want a platform, and she want to beat down and destroy all about the tea. That's what it's about, and it's just that simple.
It is. Yeah, you can see that when she said, I already said, and I quote, I was not going to accept the Friday date that was, you two are in negotiations talking about other days. But then if you already knew that, then my question is, why were you holding out for a phone call? This absolutely is bizarre. It makes no sense. And it sounds like to me that there was an intention on trying to snatch what Monica built.
Absolutely. That's what it was. And for Bishop, what I think he wanted Players sexually. And he left because, my woman left and he would never have her. But she wanted a man that got a body attractive, the opposite of her. So she don't want a guy that's overweight and don't have a neck. She don't want that. So he left, and because he is an opportunist, I'm like, oh, my girl left that I really want to smash. So I'm going to just leave and spin this narrative, make a 2-hour video. Nothing really happened. Oh, but they were doing clickbait and all that. Like, you sat there and you talked about celebrity gossip. It's not clickbait if you're talking about the celebrities. Oh, it's getting too much. I'm tired of talking about the same thing over and over. But you've been new this when you were on the platform. So I'm not understanding what's the problem now. It's like he was trying to find something that was wrong because the girl he want to lick and lap with left the panel.
Right. And they weren't held hostage, right? Well, they weren't held hostage by Monica. You can leave. We at our jobs, we have an open door policy. There's a door. You can leave whenever you wanted to. So like I said, you had all these grievances back, you said in March. Why didn't you take the exit then? Right.
Oh.
You need to really ask yourself that question. What were you hanging around for? And then that harkens back to, as I said earlier, it takes something to be in the YouTube space. So you have to ask the question, you didn't have a YouTube before. So were you utilizing Monica? Someone put in the chat, were you using Monica in order to get the views and the clicks that you need in order to start your YouTube channel? These are questions you gotta ask yourself. This is not about taking sides, but this is about asking real critical questions that will make sense. You didn't have a YouTube channel. 5 months you've been with Monica, and then all of a sudden you're up here talking about monetization. Where did the numbers come from?
I want to also, you raised a good point when you said grievances. And back in March, when we had that Ponderosa with So Debonair and Princess, and that's the House of Princess, okay, just to be clear. I went around the room and I asked every single last one of them in that room. I said, Ples, do you have any grievances or have any issues you want to put on the table? Ples said no. Bishop, do you have any issues or grievances you want to put on the table? Bishop said no. Marcella, do you have any issues or grievances you want to put on the table? She said no. Schoolboy, do you have any, issues or grievances with anybody in this room or anything you want to get out? She said no. So if you claim you have all these issues and you're so bent out of shape and so hurt and all this other stuff, why didn't you address it then? These are grown ass people. These are not little kids. They in their mid to upper 30s, grown. They work, they got full-time jobs. And, Marcella is grown. Schoolboy is grown. I mean, everybody said no. So why now? It just seems very, very sad. And I'm not shocked by what they've done because, you guys have heard me talk on this channel about trusting people and that kind of, maybe I am too trusting. Maybe I am too kind because I don't know anybody on YouTube that just extends their platform to strangers on good faith.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Not many. And what you did for Ples on her birthday, not many YouTubers will give you the cash, will give you the super chats, will promote your cash app. That's never heard of. Like many places that I've been to, they don't do that. They act like you don't exist. They will use you and don't give you anything, but you gave them something from the table and you didn't have to do it, but you did. So they're not a victim here. They're just an opportunist. They just want a platform and they're trying to get this sympathy card so people can cry and go and subscribe and go and watch them and not want to thank Monica for giving them the platform that you had every right to do it. And that's what you did. You did nothing wrong. Only thing I would say, again, is giving ungrateful subscribers a voice. They wasn't ready for it. They're not ready for it.
Oh, yeah. When you said that, that made sense. They weren't. But what I will say is get some contracts moving forward. So if you want to use language, lawyer language, you can't use lawyer language outside of having a signed document, right? So what is all this lawyer? It is only to get the buy-in from the people to make her credible. And y'all should know that you should have been asking yourself the questions like, okay, so was there something signed off on? What were the conditions of this agreement? There wasn't any. And so she puts this out there as if there were some types of conditions that you both agreed to, whether they're meeting times that we were going to do. If so, what times were they going to happen? Did we say that you would receive the videos or whatever the themes that we're going to talk about within a certain time frame? This wasn't laid out. So you can't treat it as if it were laid out. And then because it wasn't, you're upset. Maybe as a lawyer, what would have been helpful is that she could have started creating some of these documents for you if she wanted to play that role of a lawyer. And I'm not dismissing her credentials at all. But what we are questioning is the fact that having this title would say that you understand how the world of business, how lawyers are supposed to conduct themselves. You understand about agreements and what should be in those things. And so this is not that, unfortunately. And so probably moving forward for herself, you'll think broadly about these things. You can't call anybody on anything if it's not written and if you both did not, as two parties, did not agree on these things. So I was just hoping that people in the social media would ask those questions like, what was the agreement? There was no agreement. Are they talking about money? How much you supposed to get paid? Did y'all write anything about this? Or and even you decreasing down to 1 day, don't you know that your funds are going to be cut? You're not going to get $300. So
Right,
you know,
right.
there's a lot of assumptions here, but nothing written down, no signed agreement. So next time moving forward, here's some contracts.
Right. Jackie says, we don't speak on things we do for people. Well, the only reason why I'm speaking on it is because I'm being accused of being jealous, not wanting these people to grow. So here are my receipts on how that's not true. You can't say these things and not provide receipts. These people are accusing me of these things with no receipt. I feel or I think Monica was jealous of me and didn't want me to grow. But setting up a whole marketing campaign for you to get a lipstick line, you had the complete buy-in from the teacups. So when you launched it, it was going to go viral and sell out. You didn't ask me to do that. I did it. And you even thanked me behind the scenes. You said, Monica, thank you for doing that. You didn't, you don't have to do that. That's major. Because I know the power of the teacups. I'm just defending myself, Jackie, and presenting another side with all of the details. A lot of stories were told, but a lot of details were left out. Yeah.
Right. And it caused you to have to speak on those things, right, that you did. You needed to defend yourself, right?
Absolutely.
If I was trying to snatch all your followers and your money, last I checked, you're not snatching my followers and my money. I'm keeping my followers.
The devil is busy. He will try it. He will try it. The devil is busy. Before we get out of here, I want to just add another person to the panel, and this is my friend and fellow.
Whatever you want to do, you are the CEO and founder, and we are following your lead. And so sometimes that's what happens. Some people think they're the leader, but we're putting you back in the seat that you belong. You are the driver on this bus. So you take the lead here.
Well, and I also want to say, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but when Bishop left, I got no text message or phone call from him. The last text message I got from him was on Friday. He had a death in the family, and he thanked me for Cash App, and just, he said he would let his family know and thank me, and that was it. That's the last I heard from him. So, because I know he said he sent me a text message, and that's far from the truth. He did not. And I could pull the phone record from the phone company, not a screenshot of anything. If need be. But I think that's about it. Thank you, Wiley. Dr. Griffin, thank you, sister. Thank you, Pastor. You've been a rock to me. You're an outstanding woman. Where can the people find you?
Well, Tanya Griffin, just put Dr. Griffin name in there and I'm going to come up. Just walk that walk with that doctorate degree I'm happy about. So if you just put in Dr. Griffin, I'm all over the place. You'll find me.
So now you're not only a PhD, but you said you're going to law school as well,
yes,
right?
I'm in the middle of work.
Listen.
The real one, not like Wiley going to say, we don't know it.
Y'all messy.
I'm here. 6 years of research. I got my doctorate now. Yes, to law school. Yes.
Y'all being messy. All right. Thank everyone. We're going to wrap things up. Oh, you know what? Let me say this to the teacups. My sincerest apologies to you all, because this drama shouldn't have played out on social media. Like I said, stuff happens behind the scenes all the time with channels and media companies, and it's handled behind the scenes. I wasn't the first person to start this war of words or back and forth. Even Ples said to me when she called me 2 weeks ago to give in her resignation, she goes, Monica, you know how the trolls are going to react to this? I said, yeah, I do. And at that time, nothing had happened yet, none of this stuff. So for her to take it to social media first really, really shocked me. It really surprised me. When it was grievances that could have been handled behind the scenes, or we could have talked it out. But I'm not going to allow anyone who I extended a platform to try to destroy me, burn my house down, has basically started the whole domino effect of the death threats with myself, with Monica Sauls, everybody else you accuse me of being. Everybody's getting death threats. Everybody sending around these emails to people to ruin my reputation, to other bloggers. Like I said, I spoke to the director at Bojangles, information director, and they said the police are involved, attorneys are involved. I have my attorneys involved. So y'all keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, y'all. So again, I'm sorry to the teacup. Sorry this had to be a public airing. I love you all. This channel is not going anywhere. I will be back here tomorrow live, spilling the tea, dropping some hot exclusives. I love y'all. Text me. I want y'all.
Hey, what do you think about that interview? Remember I said that it all of a sudden cut off? Yep, it did this and it said it was unavailable. I thought that interview was a lot of excuses and a lot of deflection and a lot of the same kind of stuff, but I'm sure this will all be forgotten about in 5 minutes and to the people that it needs to forget about. I don't know that anybody's totally emotionally scarred from the experience. As a viewer, I know it just inspired me to start my own channel. And I hope that you're inspired in some way today to smash that like button and to smash that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.